Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. Mutahar has responded. Kinda. Mutahar has uploaded a video and you see that it's about 32 minutes long, but from the timestamp of 2 minutes and 40 seconds is where he starts talking about the engineer situation. The essential TLDR is he kinda tells his audience that I've lied to you for a decade, but really doesn't. He's trying to play it off, and you'll see what I mean when I show you clips of the video, but overall it's a pretty strategic response. Like, it was perfectly planned clearly. Like, he's trying to play this off as like, oh, I don't really care that you guys said that I'm not an engineer and I've just been lying, and if I get into some sort of legal trouble, then I'll let my lawyers handle it. I'm not really going to a moral grandstand here because I don't really care. It's just that I was waiting for a response, and you know, this is solid, I guess, but kinda tiptoes around it in a way. But a new allegation has dropped, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently Mutahar is gay. We'll get into it, but first things first, I know what you're here for. Mutahar's response.
Now, YouTube's pretty much engineered, I would say, in their mind, it seems a pretty foolproof way of isolating kiddies from adults. Now, I use the E word over there, and I want to just start talking a little bit. I know there's been some drama, and I want to kind of address things here really quickly. So, obviously, I have been calling myself an engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you can call it. And, you know, I apparently have also been a dropout, which I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer. Now, I made a lot of videos in the past where I've taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of this stuff, and I think that content stands up on its own.
Now, from what I understand, the content that Mutahar has been making, it's pretty surface level. A lot of people are saying that Mutahar isn't really giving like expert level tips or something super insane that like really a experienced engineer would do. It's a lot of surface level basic stuff. So essentially another pirate software case where pirate software would always flex the fact that, you know, he's so good at this thing, but in reality, the stuff that he was doing is pretty basic surface level, like the type of stuff that immediately out of college.
Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then for that, I do apologize.
Again, I'm not really offended by all of this. Like, I don't really care that Mutahar didn't call himself, like, an engineer. What I mostly cared about was the fact that, like, you would say that you were an engineer, but then you weren't. There was a lot of contradictions because, again, this entire situation was from a nothing burger to a 5-star meal at Five Guys.
Now, again, that being said, if anything else comes out of this, you know, whether there be some legal stuff, then I'll just let lawyers handle it and we'll call it at that.
Again, a pretty, like, strategic response from Mutahar. I can't speak today, chat. Have you guys noticed? He's pretty much just telling his audience that, like, yeah, I've kind of, like, basically said I was an engineer when I'm, like, really not. I'm sorry, lol. And if I get sued or I get into legal trouble, me and the lawyers will basically pay any fines that come our way. The strategy was there. It's the most half-honesty apology we're going to get because he doesn't outright say that, like, I lied to you guys. He's playing it off, but that's what he's basically saying. I'm not mad. I didn't really care that, like, oh, he called himself an engineer. It was more so, again, the contradictions. So if I were to put this in the rating of YouTuber responses, I'd say this is a solid 5. Like, not a bad 5, but a very, very solid 5. There's something I want to get into. Harmful Opinions has basically made a lot of videos on this guy. And since he's been doing research, he has basically made a video where Mutahar allegedly made out with a fellow YouTuber while he was dating somebody. And as of literally be recording the audio right now, fucking Harmful Opinions just dropped an apology to Mutahar. I'm just gonna live react to this.
I screwed the pooch. I went full retard. I did exactly what I would tear someone else apart for. I got a few pieces that seemed like they fit together, and instead of continuing to check and make sure, I boldly threw what I had out there, and even laughed at other people, when this time, I'm the joke. A link to my previous video with corrections in the description can be found below, but I'll summarize the problems here to try my best to correct what I've done wrong. I shared a clip of Mutahar talking about making out with his friend Ryan at his friend Kyle's wedding while he was in a relationship with a woman who was unhappy about that happening. I also shared a clip of Mutahar talking to Ryan of Nexpo about making out or potentially sucking his dick because he is so blackout drunk he won't remember it. Confirmation bias got the better of me. I went, okay, light bulb, That's the Ryan. However, having taken more time to look into it, which I should have before publishing a video, I no longer think that's clear and think there may be a different Ryan, who I found mentioned in older videos. Additionally, I said I suspected Kyle's wedding where this gay cheating occurred was a 2019 wedding that Mutahar had mentioned in a video. This is absolutely not the case, and Kyle's wedding occurred in 2017, further supporting the idea that the Ryan Mutahar made out with while having a girlfriend may not have been Nexpo, unless Mutahar knew him somehow before he started doing YouTube.
So I was actually going to originally react to that harmful opinions video, but then again he dropped this video as I was literally going through my YouTube search history and it popped up on my YouTube homepage. I appreciate the fact that harmful opinions corrects himself here. Big ups. Again, that happens. It's like a normal thing. You research something and then you think that like you got everything correctly and you're like, you know what, all right, time to post it. And then when you start looking a little more deep, you realize that, hold on, there might be something here. So fair play to him.
And I again apologize unreservedly to Mutahar of SomeOrdinaryGamers and Ryan of Nexpo. I'm not sure how likely it is that either of you will see this, and I don't expect forgiveness given how intensely I went at and have been going at Mutahar, but I am genuinely ashamed of my lack of due diligence in this instance. Of course, actions speak louder than words. To demonstrate my remorse and my understanding of how badly I've failed here, not just with regard to the two public figures I've wronged, but also my duty to you, the audience, I will not be covering any further developments in this or anything to do with SomeOrdinaryGamers beyond looking at other people's coverage on stream, because given my terrible performance in that previous video, I don't think it's reasonable to expect anyone to trust me when I publish original coverage.
Respects to you, harmful opinions, understanding your mistakes. Not a lot of YouTubers are doing that, I would say. I respect the accountability that harmful opinions is going to take here. That to me is enough. That is a W in my books. Not a lot of YouTubers will own up to a mistake like that, especially since, you know, this is a pretty popular drama at the moment. I respect it. Overall, I know this video is probably all over the place, especially since, like, this harmful opinions video literally dropped 40 minutes ago as I'd be recording this video, so I wasn't really super prepared for it. But with that being said, I know many people were probably sticking to the beginning where it was Mutahar's response. And yeah, that's really about it. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, like the video if you did enjoy. Apologies for this being all over the place. Was not ready for a harmful opinions video to drop when I was about to react to the other video. So yeah, peace.